No NHL defenseman has more blocks than Chris Tanev, this according to Luke Fox. 146 blocks so far this year. No NHL forward has more blocks than Brandon Tanev with 87.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
So the
I love
Tanevs
that.
have combined for more than 280 blocks this year, which is a crazy stat when you think about it. Now, where there's a lot of Leaf fans because Chris Tanev has worked out so beautifully here. Leaf fans want Brandon Tanev, and I get why. I totally get why. My question is, first off, the guy makes 3.5, so they'd have to retain. Seattle would have to retain. The deal's up at the end of the year. You could get him for free in the summer, but as in like money.
Yeah,
you could pay money to get him. But Brandon Tanev for me is he an upgrade on what they would already have in the bottom six? Like, I'm not sure. I'm not totally certain. It's like, okay, so you get Brandon Tanev, who comes out and some people say, well, who cares? Well, it does matter.
Well,
like I do.
Yes, I think he'd be an improvement. Like here's
he's a valuable player, no question. It's just sort of my thing is like, okay, on the list of things they need, depth forward who doesn't score much and can kill penalties, they got plenty of that.
Well,
Yarncroke's not even back yet.
Let's rank left wingers. Yarncroke can play left wing.
Okay, there you go.
Very good. So I probably hold off and see how he goes. Nyes is left wing.
Yep.
Hooray. McMahon is left wing. Hooray. Nylander.
No.
Domi.
No.
No. Robertson. No.
Has Martin played left wing much?
No, never. Never, not once, I'm pretty sure. He plays like left on the power play sometimes. He's been at the point recently. Then you're getting into like Holmberg. No. Dewar. Pacioretty. Is Brandon Tanev an upgrade on Max Pacioretty?
I have no idea.
He's got 9 goals, 7 assists, and leads all NHL forwards in block shots.
Okay.
I'm not saying throw Pacioretty out the door. That's why I
have both. Why not have both?
I kind of like him on the fourth line. So if your left side then is Nyes, McMahon, Brandon Tanev, Pacioretty, is that so bad?
Or Yarncroke in there somewhere too.
Yarncroke, who can play all 3 center positions. He just hasn't really done it with the Leafs. I like that. It still doesn't solve your
the scoring problem.
Would it help you? Sure.
Yeah.
Does it address your main problem, which is center? No.
Yeah, when I hear that, I'm like, okay, well, aim higher. Like have bigger goals. Brock Nelson exists. Dylan Cousins exists. That'd be pretty cool. Braden Shen exists.
And all 3 of those names,
so
I'm glad you brought them up because we're going to talk about them right now.
So all those guys are on the trade block. Aim higher. Go get somebody who's good.
I keep looking at one-stop shopping. Like, they could get a defenseman from Seattle. They could get Brandon Tanev, but, like, it doesn't solve the center problem.
Steve, Kyle Dubas isn't here anymore.
I know.
You don't need to go get...
He loves doing that.
You don't need to go get 8 guys from one team anymore.
Kyle Dubas will look at a sandwich and be like, just give me the crust. Just get a nibble.
The reason, like, I was thinking Luke Cunnin is, I was like, maybe you could get noted Alan Walsh client Jan Ruda in that as well. Right shooting defenseman. He's won cups. But
here's what I'm thinking. Or here's what I want to bring up. So Jesse brought up the three big ones that have been mentioned. Obviously, I've been on the Brock Nelson bandwagon for a while. There's some reports about him today. I want to talk about them. Dylan Cousins. There are reports the Leafs called.
I don't get it.
We don't talk about it.
I don't get it.
And Braden Shen. There are reports the Leafs would be interested if, in fact, he is being dangled by Doug Armstrong. Now, the Dylan Cousins thing makes a lot more sense to me than Braden Shen, but I want to start with Brock Nelson. The report this morning is that Brock Nelson might be looking at signing an extension, which flies in the face of all logic and everything that we've heard. The RG media is reporting this, and they're saying also, and this is where it really flies in the logic, that Noah Dobson is available, who is like that. That's insanity to me. If that's true, Lou's got to retire now. You're gonna dangle Noah Dobson and re-sign Brock Nelson?
I don't want to discredit these guys because I'm used to having details on stuff and getting discredited. I don't believe it.
Well,
I just don't believe it.
It's a source, and it might be. You never know with the Islanders, right? Like they could be just feeding. Sometimes people feed information that isn't always true, so that they can change. Like here's the thing: if you're the Islanders, you're getting a lot of calls about Brock Nelson, and you're going to tell, if you're Lou Lamoriello, this is a key Lou thing. He's not available. He's not available until the price is what Lou wants it to be. That's what the price is, right? And, there's the whole thing out there about Brock Nelson is very loyal to the Island and he wants to sign an extension there, and that's one report. But if you're a general manager, a la Barry Trotz with Ryan O'Reilly, he doesn't have a no-trade clause, but we're going to treat him like he has a no-trade clause with respect, meaning blow us away, blow the doors off, otherwise we're not moving him. I don't think that if that report is to be believed, and I have no reason not to believe it, if that report is to be believed, because I don't have a source going against it, that's insanity, and Lou's got to stop running this team.
Well, so...
if that's how they really feel in there. And the Islanders are impossible to get anything out of.
Now, what if they're just ramping things up to try to get an extension or a trade done? Because I think one thing that's important is to learn from your mistakes.
Give it to me.
Well, this is a really important player for you. A forward, a center even. And he's going into unrestricted free agency. Don't head into the offseason or even the trade deadline without an answer, because that guy might walk.
Has that ever happened on the Island?
No.
The key center?
Nah. You got to learn from your mistake. And that's the same guy. It was Lou.
They burned Brock Nelson jerseys in the parking lot?
Oh, my God. We don't need you. Oh. You know what, Brock? See, it'd be crazier for him because he's actually seen it happen.
Right. Yeah.
Now, what are all those poor fans going to do?
I don't know.
Because they got to buy new snakes. It's not like they gave them back.
No, they threw
at the end of the game. They threw them back into the stands. Yeah. No, now you got to go buy new snakes.
A lot of Amazon orders for rubber snakes out there.
A lot of Amazon orders for rubber snakes.
So Brock Nelson, I think, makes sense. Let's talk about the Dylan Cousins situation. This guy's 23 years old.
I don't get
making $7 million. What don't you get? Is it that you don't get Dylan Cousins? Or do you don't get that he's available?
I don't get that he's available at all. At all. Does he suck?
No.
Okay, so what are you doing? He's a huge 23-year-old right-handed center.
Already had 70 points in his career.
Yeah, or like 60 or whatever it was. What are you doing?
Because you signed him to that deal for a reason, right?
Yeah. I actually have this crazy
68
theory.
points, Steve. 68
Wow,
points.
there you go. So I have this crazy theory that maybe his offense is down because the Sabres stink.
No.
Why are you getting rid of this play? When do you ever plan on being sort of relevant?
Well, the report is that if Cousins is available, it's quote unquote hockey trade. So it has to be equal value and currently in the NHL and established coming back. You're not going to build this around prospects. So in this case, you're not going to look at the top 3 prospects and go, can we build something from there? They're not interested in that.
So a comparable 23-ish-year-old.
Pedersen. That would be the only way this makes sense. I don't understand.
Are you on drugs? How are
you going to find another 23 to 25-year-old who another team doesn't want, also plays center, also on a long-term deal with, the value is going to go up and up and up with the cap.
So you got to aim crazy, to me. So you throw out Pedersen. I'm like, yeah, any deal, if I'm the Canucks, any deal that has me sending Pedersen to the Sabres has to involve Dylan Cousins.
Sure.
Okay.
And
great.
someone else, probably.
After him, I'm like, okay, available dudes in their early-ish 20s who are established NHL players. Trevor Zegras, who, I don't even know how many points he has.
Are the Ducks going to trade noted third liner Mason McTavish?
If they're really stupid, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Not. Again, why would you do that? Why are you trading that player? There's no reason to trade that player. I'm trying to who are comparables in the league? They're centers.
They're on longer term deals,
making big money, young. Is Dylan Cousins getting traded for? I bet the LA Kings are out there shopping Quentin Byfield.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing the two players necessarily. One is, kind of breaking out. The other's not. Right now, why are the Buffalo Sabres even entertaining the thought of trading this player?
Well,
you'd have to rob someone.
Somebody on Blue Sky the other day made a fake trade that we had supposedly suggested on the show, and it just pissed a bunch of Sabres fans off because I think I had suggested like Ryan Reeves for Dylan Cousins in this fake trade scenario, and it was hilarious. And then I doubled down on it. And so all the Sabres fans that angrily replied at me, I said, "You just don't know hockey."
I think
which is the most fun. It's a great chirp. And
listen, I believe in democracy. I think anyone who believed that as legitimate should have their right to vote stripped.
100%. So I'm looking at this, and I'm and I think things are tough for Sabres fans, and I get that.
You're too dumb to have an opinion on serious issues. I'm sorry.
With something like that, it just feels like there has to have been, like, if you're asking the question, why is he available, guys? To me, the question is what happened behind the scenes that we haven't heard about. Has the agent, has there been dialogue between the team and the agent and also the player of, yeah, you're not happy here, we're not happy with you here? To me, it's like it just seems to have come out of nowhere. And I understand that there's a little bit of, based on how he played a couple of years ago, a little bit of underperformance. His shooting percentage was berserk that year. It was 14.7%. The guy's normally
It's
around.
not berserk.
It's berserk
It's
for
high.
him because the rest of his seasons he's been in around 8 or 9%. So, he's probably a 25 goal guy, maybe not a 31 goal guy. Has the team gone to him and said, this isn't good enough? Is the player going, I want out, I'm not happy here, I regret signing this? To me, there's more smoke here than really anyone's looking at. Like what possible problems do the Sabres look to solve by trading this guy? And again, it goes back to who would be available. Why would the Canucks give you Pettersson now? And I'm looking at this and going, maybe there's a relationship fraying here. And that's why this is happening.
With the Sabres?
I wonder.
No way.
I don't know.
No way. Well, no, like, I'm sorry. I'm not mocking you. I'm mocking that hunk of garbage franchise. How many more times are you going to do this with everyone?
Right.
Like, don't make me feel bad for Sabres fans, man. I grew up hating them because they would beat the Leafs in the playoffs, all right? Mm-hmm. All right? I hated playing Dominic Hasek as a kid. I hated seeing the Sabres on the schedule because I knew I was about to watch a boring hockey game that my team was probably going to lose. It was the worst. The worst. And now I'm just sitting there and going, these are some of the best hockey fans in the world. And they are basically being subjected to the most inept organization the sport has maybe ever seen.